Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I purchased a vintage sermon. It was 26 pages long from TaylorMade Journals on Etsy. This is set 3. She has 3 different sermons. This one is from 1891. And the first thing that I did was I printed this at 60% size. And then I decided I should really probably adjust where it prints on the paper. So I just scooted it over as far as I could and shrunk my margins down. So I ended up with a smaller book. I was able to use both sides of my paper. I wanted it 2 pages thick because I like the way the paper feels when you glue 2 pages together. This is copy weight paper. So it does need a little bit of thickening just to give it a more vintagey feel. So the first thing I'm going to do is rip all the white edges off. Okay, now I'm going to take 2 pages and I'm going to glue them back to back, because when I get through gluing these together, I want it to open up like a book. I've glued all the pages together. Now I'm going to take some gathered twigs distress oxide and I'm going to age the pages and ink around all the edges. I had some pages that didn't match up perfectly, and where I trimmed them with scissors, I went back and took the edge of my scissors and just re-roughed those edges up. Here's a side-by-side comparison. And I'm just going to continue inking each page. I finished, and this is what it looks like. Big difference. Now I'm going to beat up the corners a little bit just by mashing and pressing and flipping them, and give them a little bit of distress and age. Originally, these documents had 3 holes punched in the edge along the side, and that's how it was bound. I know I've seen before in the past these kinds of documents be bound with string. So I got some white twine and I just lightly ran it through my gathered twigs ink, piled it up on a tissue, and rubbed some of that ink into the string just to age that white string a little bit. I am going to bind this with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, starting in the center. I'm going to go through all the center pages, and the reason why I'm starting in the front is because I want the tie on the front of the book. So I'm going to go through the middle, and then I'll go up the back of the book and go through the top hole. The string was starting to come apart on the end, so I decided to put a little bit of tacky glue on that string and twist it up to stiffen it and sharpen it and let it dry and clip the little strings off the end. And this helps a lot when you're just using a string without a needle. This string is way too big for me to use a needle with, so I'm going to use this method. Like I said, you're going to come up the back and go through the top holes of the pages. Then you're going to pull the string down the front, the same string. I'm just adjusting the length of the string that's left and sticking out the front. Then you're going to go through the bottom hole. Then you're going to go back through the middle and out the front. Now you have a loop and 2 loose strings in the front. These loose strings need to be one on one side of the loop and one on the other side of the loop. And you can hold those 2 strings and just gently pull and adjust your pages to the tightness that you want. Now, I know some of this twisted up in here and I need to straighten it out, but I know that I want these documents a little bit loose, the pages a little bit loose, because the edges of the pages have words on them, and if I tighten it too much, I can't lay the book out completely flat where you can see all the writing. So I'm just kind of wiggling and tugging. I'm not really being rough, but you know, you need to tug to adjust. Then once you get the pages adjusted where you want them, just tie it in a knot. If you're worried about needing to readjust the pages more, you could just tie it in a bow, and then, you know, tie it in a knot later if you'd like. I think the looseness of the strings added to the age a little bit. And you could bind these with some kind of ring or ring method, but I wanted to use this as a tip-in in a journal. And so I needed something flatter. So the string worked perfectly for this as far as I was concerned. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It feels really nice. Thanks for watching, y'all.